Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing another classic horror movie for my Halloween movie reviews. And the one I'm reviewing this time is the 1980... I don't know what year this was made, but I think it was like 1981 or something like that, but it's A Nightmare on Elm Street. And, prior to seeing this movie, this is the first time I saw the original. I've seen the remake, but not the original. And I know what you're saying, you gotta watch the original first, not the remake. Well, you know, I watched the remake first because it wasn't exactly Halloween time, so I just watched the remake, like, a couple months ago. Like, I'd say in the summer I watched the remake, but I checked out the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and I absolutely loved it. It is such a great movie. It's, you know, it's very creepy, it's very good, and it has some really good acting as well. One of the things that I didn't really expect is that this movie actually has very, very good acting. It's not cheesy at all. The acting is very good in here. But of course, if you guys haven't seen the plot, the plot basically is, we first see this girl, Tina, and she kind of has this vision of Freddy Krueger just like sharpening knives, basically. And she doesn't really know what it means, and they don't call him Freddy Krueger, they call him Fred Krueger in the first one. And shortly after, Tina is brutally murdered, and her boyfriend is basically framed, But her best friend Nancy, who's the main character of this, suspects that the killer isn't Tina's boyfriend, but rather a much more horrifying figure from her dreams, Fred Krueger, and basically she enters this race, to bring him out of her dream world and stop the bloodbath before she falls asleep and becomes his next victim, basically. And, you know, her mother keeps telling her, oh, get some sleep, get some sleep, get some sleep, but there's a lot more going on besides that, and I really love this movie. One of the reasons I love this movie is because of the acting. As I said, the acting is very, very good. The best one by far is Heather Lang. I mean, the best of the teenagers. I mean, let's first get to the obvious one. Robert Englund is fantastic as Freddy Krueger. He's so menacing and creepy, and you really are just, he's so menacing, and it's so great how good he is in this movie. He has some really great lines, too. He doesn't really have as much speaking parts as the remake, but I think he does a really great job in this, and I really do like his character in this. So, Fred Krueger, you know, is very creepy, and he's a great villain. But Heather Langenkamp as Nancy is fantastic. She's really great in this movie. The whole time, you're not really sure if this is all in her head, or if she's just, like, going, or if this is real, because there's a part where you're kind of like, was that real? Was that all in her head? And, the whole movie, you're not really sure if that's what's going on. Her mother thinks she's going crazy and everything, but, there are some spoilers that we're going to get to. And the other person in this movie that we have to talk about is Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is in this movie, who basically, Johnny Depp plays, Heather Langenkamp's best friend and possible love interest. I thought they were going to get together, but he ends up getting killed before they do get together, but he does a very good job. He's a very funny character, and you can definitely see why Johnny Depp is a big actor, because he's very good in this. Now let's get to some spoiler territory, where basically if you haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street, which I'm sure you guys have seen the original, but if for some reason you haven't, I'm going to tell you some spoilers. So here we go. First thing we have to talk about is, of course, the fact that her parents actually knew Fred Krueger, and that he molested the children. And I already knew this story from the remake, but I thought the remake, what was cool about the remake was they actually told you, we actually saw exactly what happened. And, the other thing in the remake is we find out why he wants to take vengeance out on all of them. It's not because he just molested them, it's because they killed him. And I think it's a very shocking twist, and not really something you expect, and I think it's really cool. It's a great reveal, in my opinion, because you wouldn't expect that Freddy Krueger's connected to these kids. You just expect that he is just, you know, there's a reason why for all these movies, and I like that they actually tell you in the first movie. The other big twist, of course, is the fact that, you know, the death scenes are actually really cool in here. There's some really cool ones, especially Johnny Depp when he just, like, sucks into the bed and then all the blood comes out. That was awesome. The other thing that some people like about this movie and some people hate about this movie, some people cannot stand the ending to this movie. The ending to this movie, let me just explain the ending to you. The ending of the movie, we think everything's okay. We see Nancy and her friends get into a car, then slowly after, the windshield wipers and stuff or windows just start doing stuff on their own, and we think, wait a minute, Freddy Krueger's in the car? And then Freddy Krueger attacks her mother. And that's how the movie ends. So we don't know what's going to happen after that. There was not a sequel made with Nancy and everything, so most people do not like the ending. For me, the ending's kind of just like Fred Krueger always comes back. I think that's basically what was going on. I also found interesting that they called him Fred Krueger and not Freddy Krueger. I did find that very interesting. And the way she killed him was pretty awesome. She basically just sets him on fire, and that's how he dies. And then her father just covers him with a fire blanket, and he melts. And it's really cool the way he died. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, overall, I absolutely love Nightmare on Elm Street. I loved everything about it. Is there anything else I want to say about it? Let me think about it. No, there really isn't. I think everything's really great in this movie. The sequels I've heard are not good, so I'm not planning on watching the sequels to these because nobody really likes the sequels to these movies. They're basically just filler. Although I do want to see New Nightmare because I heard that is connected to this one, and I do want to see that. But, yeah, I really do like that. And, comparing this to the remake, I definitely think this is better than the remake. The remake is good, but this one is 10 times better. It's much more, I just like it a lot better. And, I think Edgar Langenkamp, Rooney Mara is good in, the, remake, but nothing can compare with Heather Langenkamp. And Edgar Langenkamp, and she's really good. And also Robert Englund. Jack Earl Haley is not a good Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund is much better at that. So yeah, basically, my final thoughts on Nightmare on Elm Street. It's awesome. You guys need to check it out. And I actually watched this before I went to bed, so yeah. But yeah, that's our first review of Nightmare on Elm Street. Let me know what you guys saw of the movie. I'll give you, that's our first review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.